Hey guys, Zach here with Minimal Escapes. Today I've got a video for you that is going to help you with deciding substrate, which one you're going to choose, which one's suitable for you, and which one you're going to want to use in your aquariums. In front of the camera, you can see that I've got two very distinct soils. On the left here, this is just an aquasoil, typical run-of-the-mill, just a little ball, just whatever brand really. And then on the right side here, I just have some topsoil from your local garden center. Now, these two serve very different purposes in the aquarium hobby, and they're used for greatly different things. Both can be very successful. It's really just going to depend on what you're looking for and what your goal is for your aquarium. Aquasoil is very good. It's high nutrient, but it does have some buffers, I'll say. It starts to lower the pH in the water, which is good if you're looking to store something that wants a little bit lower of a pH. I use aquasoil mostly for exposed like this when I'm keeping shrimp, because I know they like it slightly lower, slightly softer, or not softer, less acidic water, sorry. So generally I'll pair that with a limestone-based stone, like Cereus stone or something like that, because it's got lots of calcium in it. So this will lower the water pH as well as increase the calcium in the water, which is really good for shrimp. And I've been quite happy with how that's turned out. Breeding shrimp has been quite easy in aquasoil here. And then with your topsoil, I've had great success mostly in the terms of plants. This technique where you put dirt, and then cap it with sand was made famous by Diana Walstead in her book, Ecology of the Planted Aquarium. It really does have lots and lots of nutrients in it as long as it's capped. I've found that my aquariums with topsoil in it do much better for the plants. They grow more. An example of this would be, I've struggled with Amazon swords in aquasoil before. Even though I've used fresh aquasoil, seasoned aquasoil, anything really, I've used root tabs with them, I really haven't been able to get them sticking in my aquariums, but I tried out dirt a couple months ago, and I've been very happy with the results of the swords that I've seen. Now, really, you're gonna not need to be too panicked. You can choose one or the other. You know, the topsoil is definitely gonna be cheaper, whereas the aquasoil is a little more expensive, but it's gonna depend on the style of aquarium you're going for. And as far as styles go, aquasoil is gonna offer you a much cleaner look, but it does break down over time, whereas your dirt, it's going to look much more naturalistic, I would say. And what you're concerned about with the dirt is if you stir up the bottom, it can create quite a mess in the water column, creating a mucky look. And also that happens with aquasoil if it breaks down. Here, I'll show you. With this, you can kind of crush it down into a powder, and it'll leave a little bit of dirt behind. One of the solutions I've found for this, though, is I use these little mesh bags in almost all of my aquariums. Here in this ecosystem bowl, as well as in my Ember Tetra tank here, I've used little mesh bags to contain the soil. That way, I don't have to worry about disturbing it once I'm in the sand planting or removing plants. Now, with this experiment, I'm going to cap both of these layers with some play sand that I have here. Why play sand? Because it's cheap and it's inert. It's not going to change the water parameters at all. And I'm also not going to have any livestock in here, so I'm not too concerned about, quality of material or anything. I'm just going to plop it in and then hopefully get some water in there. So here's my sand. Got about an inch. Whoops. I've got about an inch of soil in both sides each, and I'm just gonna cap it off with about an inch or two of sand. This way they're the same. And this way I've got plenty of room for planting. Side. Perfect. Now this divider in the middle of the tank here, this white divider, is just egg crate. I wanted to keep it as kind of an open divider, just so that way the water parameters in both sides are going to be almost identical, or they should be identical, because it's not like I'm stopping water movement, because this way it's purely the substrate that's making the difference in the plant growth. Now that I've filled this with sand, I'm going to fill it up with the water right here, hopefully slowly so that I don't, completely muck it up. Let's just give that a second. This is really close to how full I want it. Let's make sure that that doesn't absorb anymore. It already has. All right, and that's perfect. Now, as you can see, I've got, I don't know, just 1/4 inch of water above all my sand. This should work pretty well with the aquarium plants that I'm putting in here. And as far as plants go, I've selected ones that are much heavier in the stem area, just so that I really get a determination on which substrate is better. Also made sure to keep the selection the same and try to keep the plants relatively same sized for both sides. First up, we've got a cryptocorn right here. This is the dirted side one. This might melt on both sides. I'm not too sure. They're very picky, and especially once you've taken these crypts out of the water, they really do not like being replanted. These are around the same size. I'll keep track of how large they are. And then the next plant I've got is Bacopa. These actually grow excellently out of water, but this one has been growing in water. So hopefully we'll see change in them. Should be around the same size. Boom, boom. The next plant I've got is a Rotella. This is Rotella orange juice, I believe. When it's grown out of water, it's got big round leaves, but when it grows in water, it's got these sharper, spinier leaves. Let's see if I can show you guys here. See these narrower leaves? That's from growing in water. It's growing out of water like this. It should get a rounder kind of leaf. And then the next plant and the final plant is going to be Vallisneria. However, these are quite long, so I've got to just trim them. Let's see, boom. That one's done. First val is actually going to go right here. That val generally, I don't know, I've never really had success growing it out of water, so this will be a first for me if this works. And I'll be quite happily surprised. one down and trim this one. Perfect. Just a little snail that I'll put in here. He's gonna do fine. First valve down. Now, second chunk of valve down. Perfect. Maintenance on this, I'm just gonna spray it 2 or 3 times a day. I've got a lid for this, so it should stay pretty moist in here. And I am going to post an update video in probably a month or 2, and I'll let you guys know. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like.